Before you paint another wall, change another cushion, or bring one more trendy shade into your home, listen closely because one common color may be quietly changing the atmosphere around you in ways you never expected. It can dull peace, weaken joy, and make a room feel heavy without you even knowing why. And the strange part is this: many people choose it because it looks modern, clean, and expensive. But what looks stylish on the surface can feel cold in the spirit. In a moment, I will reveal that color. And when you hear it, you may start looking at your home very differently. But do not worry. I am not only going to show you what to avoid, I am also going to give you powerful colors that can lift the feeling of your space, welcome warmth, stir passion, support peace, and open the door to abundance. Stay with me because the final message can completely change how you see every room in your home. And as you listen, say this quietly in your heart: my home is open to peace, favor, joy, and blessing. That simple choice matters more than you think because the energy you welcome is often shaped by the atmosphere you create around you every single day. Your home is more than walls, floors, and furniture. It is the place where your mind settles, where your emotions breathe, where your spirit either feels safe or slowly becomes tired. The colors around you are not just decoration, they speak, they set a tone, they create a feeling before you even sit down, before you even notice the light, before you even realize your mood has shifted. Some colors open the room, some colors soften stress, some colors wake up hope, others quietly shut things down. That is why being intentional with color is not shallow. It is powerful. It is personal. It is spiritual in a very real way. When you choose a color, you are also choosing an atmosphere. You are shaping the emotional weather of your home. You are deciding whether your rooms feel alive or flat, warm or distant, peaceful or restless. And if life already feels noisy, confusing, or heavy, the last thing you need is a home that adds more pressure to your heart. You need a place that supports you, a place that breathes with you, a place that reminds you that peace is possible, love can grow again, and better days can begin right where you live. That is why these next colors matter so much. Listen carefully. One of them may be exactly what your home has been missing. Let's begin with green because green carries the feeling of life itself. It brings to mind fresh leaves, open fields, healing, balance, and steady growth. When a room feels stale, tense, or emotionally stuck, green can begin to loosen that heaviness and make the space feel alive again. It is a color that supports movement without chaos. It feels calm but not sleepy, gentle but not weak. If you are starting over, building a new dream, trying to recover from stress, or simply wanting your home to feel more peaceful, green can help create that kind of atmosphere. You do not need to paint an entire room if that feels too much. A living plant, soft green curtains, a green throw blanket, a vase, a bowl, even a small piece of art can begin to shift the feeling of a space. Green feels rooted. It reminds the heart that growth takes time and that stability is beautiful too. It can be especially helpful in places where you work, read, pray, think, or gather with family. Even one healthy plant can change the mood of a room. It can make the air feel cleaner, the energy feel softer, and the space feel more hopeful. And here is something simple but powerful. When you water your plants or touch something green in your home, pause and say, I am growing, my home is growing, and good things are taking root here. Small acts, big shift. Now think about gold, a color that carries brightness, richness, and a sense of value. Gold is not only about money or luxury, it also speaks of wisdom, confidence, dignity, and the feeling that something precious is present. When used with intention, gold can warm a room and make it feel more open to increase favor and opportunity. It does not need to be loud. In fact, a little gold often does more than too much. A gold frame, a lamp, a tray, a candle holder, a small bowl, drawer handles, or even a single decorative piece can quietly lift the room and make it feel more radiant. One of the best places for gold is the kitchen, because the kitchen is where nourishment becomes life. It is where simple ingredients become strength, comfort, and care. A touch of gold in that space can serve as a reminder that your home is not empty. It is a place of provision. It is a place where needs are met and gratitude can grow. Gold also works beautifully near the place where you study, plan, write, or handle finances. A small gold object on a desk or shelf can become a visual signal of clarity, wise decisions, and forward movement. If things have felt blocked, if you have been dealing with delay after delay, or if you feel like momentum has been hard to find, this color can help change the emotional tone of your environment. Stay with me, because the next one shifts everything in a different way. Red is the color of heat, courage, desire, and movement. It wakes things up, it stirs the heart, it reminds the body and mind that life is meant to be felt, not just endured. When people lose motivation, when relationships grow distant, when a home begins to feel emotionally flat, red can bring back a sense of pulse and presence. But this is important. Red works best when it is used with care. You do not need to drown a room in it. A few strong touches can be enough. A red cushion, a piece of artwork, a rug, a vase, a blanket across the bed, a chair in the corner. Even a small object near the entrance can create a subtle feeling of strength and welcome. Red says, there is life here, there is warmth here, there is still passion here. In spaces where people gather, it can create more energy and connection. In a bedroom, it can add emotion and intimacy when used softly through fabrics or accents instead of overwhelming walls. In an entryway, it can feel like a sign that this house is not asleep, it is awake. If you have felt sluggish, if your confidence has gone quiet, if your days have started feeling repetitive and dull, a touch of red can act like a spark. Sometimes all a space needs is one bold note to remind everyone inside it that strength, love, and joy have not disappeared. They only need to be stirred again. And what comes next may be the very color your nervous system has been longing for. Blue brings a different kind of power. It does not rush, it settles. It cools the noise in the mind and creates room for clear thought, honest reflection, and emotional rest. When life feels too loud, too fast, too uncertain, blue can help a room feel safer, steadier, and more breathable. It is the color of open sky, deep water, quiet evenings, and the kind of peace that does not need to prove itself. Blue works beautifully in bedrooms, reading corners, bathrooms, and any place where you want your mind to slow down and your heart to soften. A soft blue can make a room feel open and clean. A deeper blue can create depth, seriousness, and calm strength. If you often carry stress home with you, if your thoughts race late into the night, or if you find it hard to hear your own inner voice, this color can support a different rhythm. Blue invites you to pause, to breathe, to return to yourself. You can bring it in through bedding, towels, curtains, wall art, candles, or one peaceful corner designed just for stillness. And here is something many people forget. A calm room can lead to better choices. A peaceful environment can help you speak more gently, listen more closely, and think more clearly. That matters a lot, because sometimes the breakthrough you need is not more pressure, it is more peace. And now we come to a color that seems simple, but its effect can be profound when used with care and intention. White can completely transform a home when it is used with purpose. It brings light, it creates space, it gives the eyes and the heart somewhere to rest. A white room can feel cleaner, wider, fresher, and more open, almost like the room itself is breathing differently. But the beauty of white is not only visual, it is emotional. It can carry a sense of peace, clarity, and new beginnings. It feels like starting over without fear. It feels like making room for better things. It reflects light instead of swallowing it, and that alone can change the mood of a space in a powerful way. White also helps every other healthy accent stand out more clearly. The green looks greener, the gold shines more warmly, the red feels more alive, the blue becomes more serene. White gives the room a clean foundation, a kind of visual silence that allows beauty to speak without shouting. If you choose white, do it with intention. As you clean, paint, or rearrange your space, let it mean something. Let it be more than design. Let it become a declaration that your home is a place of peace, a place open to joy, a place where heaviness does not get the final word. You can even speak over the room while you work and say, "This home is filled with light, calm, love, and good things." Do not rush past that. Words matter, atmosphere matters. And now, after all of this, we come to the one shade that may be working against everything you want your home to feel. The color to be careful with is dark gray. Yes, dark gray. It may look stylish. It may seem elegant, polished, expensive, even sophisticated. And in some settings, that may be why people choose it so quickly. But inside a home, especially in large amounts, dark gray can change the feeling of a room in a way that becomes emotionally draining over time. It can make the space feel closed instead of open, muted instead of alive, heavy instead of peaceful. Where white reflects light, dark gray tends to absorb it. Where green feels like growth, dark gray can feel like pause. Where gold suggests warmth and value, dark gray can feel emotionally distant. Where red awakens passion, dark gray can flatten it. Where blue calms the heart, dark gray can leave a room feeling cold and withdrawn. That is the trap. It often looks refined at first, but the emotional effect can slowly become tiring. A home should not feel like a place that turns down your spirit. It should not feel like an endless cloudy afternoon. It should not steal softness from your relationships or quiet hope in your thoughts. Yet that is exactly what this shade can do when it takes over the room. It can reduce warmth, mute personality, and make the entire space feel less inviting than you intended. And the most surprising part is this: many people do not realize the shift until they have been living in it for a while. By then, the heaviness feels normal. Picture this clearly. You come home after a long day. You open the door, and instead of feeling welcomed, your body tightens just a little. The room looks neat, maybe even expensive, but something feels flat. The walls do not lift you. The light does not dance. The space feels dim, even when the lamps are on. You sit down, but you do not fully relax. You move through the room, but there is no warmth reaching back toward you. That is what dark gray can do when it dominates a home. It can create an atmosphere that feels emotionally switched off, not always dramatic, not always obvious, just quietly heavy, quietly dull, quietly discouraging. Over time, that matters more than people think. Our surroundings shape our mood, our focus, our energy, even our sense of possibility. If your space feels lifeless, your mind can start to mirror that feeling. If your room feels low, your emotions may begin to lower with it. This does not mean every gray object is terrible. It means you should be wise about how much of that shade you allow to control the feeling of your home. A small touch may be manageable, but when dark gray covers large walls, major furniture, heavy curtains, and whole rooms at once, the atmosphere can become thick and emotionally tiring. You do not need that, especially not in the place where you sleep, dream, pray, recover, and love. Stay with me, because if you already have this color in your home, there is a way to soften its effect without tearing everything apart. If dark gray is already part of your space, do not panic. You do not need to start over overnight. You can begin by bringing life back into the room little by little. Add brightness, add warmth, add contrast. Bring in white through lamps, rugs, bedding, art, or curtains. Add green through real plants, soft fabrics, or natural textures. Use gold through frames, bowls, candle holders, or mirrors that catch the light. Bring in blue where you want calm and red where you want energy. Wood tones can help too. So can cream, soft beige, warm light, and anything that breaks the flat emotional tone of the gray. The goal is simple. Do not let the dark gray be the final voice in the room. Interrupt it, lift it, balance it. If your walls are gray, place colorful artwork and lively objects in front of them. If your sofa is dark, brighten it with warm pillows and textured blankets. If the room feels cold, change the lighting first. Warm light can shift the mood faster than many people expect. And as you make these small changes, pay attention to how your body responds. Does the room feel easier to breathe in? Does it feel more welcoming, more human, more alive? That matters. Your body often senses what your mind has not yet put into words. Listen to that response. because decorating a home is not only about what looks good in a photo, it is about what helps your life feel supported, softened, and strengthened in the real world, day after day. There is a deeper reason all of this matters. Your home is not just the place where you store your things, it is the environment that surrounds your thoughts, your rest, your family moments, your private fears, your hopes for the future, and your most repeated daily habits. It shapes how you wake up. It shapes how you recover from pain. It shapes whether a room invites conversation or silence, whether a corner encourages prayer or distraction, whether an evening feels nourishing or empty. Every color contributes to that silent conversation. It either helps your home feel like a sanctuary or makes it feel like another place you have to survive. That is why choosing life giving colors is not superstition. It is wisdom. It is emotional care. It is a way of protecting peace before stress has the chance to fully settle in. Think of color like food for the atmosphere. Some choices nourish, some choices drain. Some give your home a sense of warmth, possibility, and emotional oxygen. Others make it feel processed, flat, and disconnected. A beautiful home is not only one that impresses visitors, it is one that strengthens the people living inside it. That is the real goal, not perfection, not trend, not performance. Peace, warmth, clarity, joy. If a room looks fashionable but leaves you feeling tired, something is wrong. If a space looks simple but makes you feel calm and restored, something is right. Never forget that. And now let's go even further because there are simple ways to use these colors every day with more purpose and meaning. To make green more powerful, think beyond decoration and create a living corner of growth. Place healthy plants where you can see them daily. A shelf with greenery, a small herb near the window, a leafy plant in the workspace, or a bowl of fresh fruit in a green dish can all support a feeling of freshness and renewal. Let green touch areas connected to vision, healing, planning, and family life. To deepen the energy of gold, place one intentional gold object where nourishment or decisions happen. A gold accent in the kitchen can symbolize provision. A small gold item where you work or manage money can remind you to move with wisdom and confidence. To use red well, keep it deliberate. A red pillow, a throw, a rug near the bed, a touch of red near the door, or even something red that you wear at home can stir courage and emotional warmth. To make blue truly effective, build a corner of calm with it. A chair, cushion, blanket, candle, artwork, or even blue towels in the bathroom can turn an ordinary space into a place of quiet reset. And for white, treat it like a fresh page. Keep it clean, keep it bright. Use it to reflect light and create room for breathing, thinking, and beginning again. These are not expensive changes, they are mindful ones. And often the smallest shifts create the deepest emotional relief. Do not underestimate what a room can become when it is shaped with care instead of habit. You may be only one or two thoughtful changes away from a home that feels completely different. And here is something even more personal. As you bring these colors into your home, do not do it mechanically. Do it with awareness. Do it with gratitude. Do it as if you are setting the emotional direction of your life, because in many ways you are. When you place something green in your home, let it remind you that growth is still possible. When you add gold, let it remind you that wisdom and provision belong in your space. When you bring in red, let it remind you that love is not gone and courage is still alive in you. When you use blue, let it remind you to slow down, breathe deeply, and return to peace. When you choose white, let it remind you that every room can become a place for light and fresh beginnings. These are not just visual decisions, they are emotional signals, they are spiritual gestures. They are ways of saying that your home will not be a place of defeat, dullness, or silent heaviness. It will be a place where peace has room, where joy is welcomed, where love can breathe, and where your spirit can rest instead of shrinking. That is why the warning about dark gray matters so much. It is not only about paint, it is about atmosphere. It is about whether your space lifts your life or presses it down. And if this is opening your eyes, keep listening because the final part brings everything together in a way you can apply today. Walk through your home with fresh eyes, not with the eyes of a critic, not with the pressure to impress anyone. Walk through it with honesty. Notice where the room feels light and where it feels heavy. Notice which corner invites you in and which one makes you want to leave. Notice where conversation flows and where silence feels cold. Notice where your body relaxes and where it quietly tenses. Those signals matter. They are telling you something. Your home speaks before words ever begin. So listen. If a room feels dull, give it life. If it feels tight, open it with light colors. If it feels emotionally tired, bring in warmth. If it feels restless, soften it with peace. If it feels flat, add a living color that wakes it up again. You do not need a perfect house. You need a home that supports your soul. A home that blesses your mind when the world has been loud. A home that steadies your heart when life feels uncertain. A home that reflects what you want more of: peace, love, joy, clarity, strength, hope, and abundance. Choose your colors like they matter, because they do. Choose them like you are shaping the emotional future of your rooms, because you are. Let your home become a place that welcomes light, not heaviness, warmth, not cold distance, life, not dullness. And if you make even a few small changes after hearing this, you may be surprised by how quickly the feeling of your space begins to shift. Sometimes blessing enters quietly, one choice at a time, one room at a time, one color at a time. So do not ignore what your space has been telling you. If a color drains the room, believe what you feel. If a certain shade makes the air seem heavy, trust that signal. If another color brings relief, brightness, softness, or peace, lean into it. Your home should not be a place where your energy fades. It should be a place where your spirit comes back to life, a place where you feel safe enough to dream again, calm enough to think clearly, warm enough to love well, and strong enough to move forward with confidence. Let your rooms reflect that kind of life. Let the light in, let peace in, let beauty in, let color become more than style. Let it become support. Let it become intention. Let it become one of the quiet ways you protect your joy and welcome better things into your everyday life. And if you needed this message today, take it seriously. Look around you, make one change, then another, then another. You do not have to transform everything in one day. Just begin. Begin with the room that feels the heaviest. Begin with the wall that feels too cold. Begin with the corner that needs life again. Begin where you are. Because the atmosphere of your home can change. And when the atmosphere changes, it often becomes easier for your heart to change with it. And that is where new peace begins.